Let's be honest, we all want to be liked. We want to be helpful, generous, kind, dependable, and available. We want people to think of us as good. But here's the bitter truth wrapped in humor and honesty. If you keep trying to make everyone happy, you'll end up exhausted, broke, frustrated, and probably eating cold pizza at 2 a.m. while wondering why no one is clapping for your sacrifices. Life has an unfair sense of humor. The moment you start taking care of yourself, people suddenly call you selfish. But when you're burning out trying to fix everyone's problems, they just call you responsible. Let that sink in. This essay is about unlearning that nonsense. It's about understanding one simple truth. If you don't prioritize yourself, no one else will. And not because people are evil, it's because human beings are naturally wired to look out for themselves first. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants you to outshine them. They might clap for you when you succeed, but deep down, most people want you to stay at a level where you're comfortable but not threatening. Let's unpack this with some laughter, real talk, and a healthy dose of motivation. We grew up on a diet of sayings like, be humble, put others first, and don't be selfish. Sounds noble, right? The problem is, we took those sayings way too literally. We turned humility into invisibility. We confused kindness with self-sacrifice. And we started believing that being tired, broke, and emotionally drained is somehow proof of being a good person. But here's the thing. Even your smartphone knows when it's time to recharge. The moment the battery drops below 10%, that little warning pops up like a therapist. Low power mode activated. Yet somehow humans, the most intelligent creatures on earth, think we can run at 1% battery while helping everyone else charge their phones. Let's face it, being selfless doesn't mean being senseless. You can care for people without becoming their emotional garbage can. You can help others without setting yourself on fire just to keep them warm. Here's the funny truth. People like you as long as you don't make them feel small. The moment your success reminds them of what they're not doing, you suddenly become too much. You start eating healthy, they say, you've changed. You stop gossiping, they say, you're acting better than us. You chase your dreams, they say, you've become proud. But notice something. They're not really angry at you. They're angry at what your growth reveals about them. Your success shines a light on their stagnation. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. So when people discourage you, it's rarely about you. It's about them, their comfort zones, their fears, their self-doubt. Some people don't want you to be above them because your growth reminds them that they too could be doing better, but aren't. That's why you must learn to move forward without public approval. You owe it to yourself to be unapologetically ambitious, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Growth is not arrogance, it's responsibility. And if someone tells you, don't forget where you came from, remind them politely, I didn't forget. I just didn't plan to stay there forever. You ever notice how we say yes too easily? Your coworker asks for help. Sure, I got it. Your cousin calls, can you lend me a little something until payday? Payday comes, they vanish like a magician's assistant. Your friend invites you to an event you hate. Of course I'll come. Then you spend 3 hours pretending to have fun while wishing you were home in pajamas. We do this because we fear being labeled as rude, selfish, or difficult. But let's flip the script. When you constantly say yes to others, you're automatically saying no to yourself. You're saying no to your peace, your time, your rest, your goals. Newsflash, you are not a 24-hour convenience store. You don't have to be open to everyone all the time. You deserve boundaries, not because you're mean, but because you're human. Even Wi-Fi needs to disconnect sometimes to reboot. If people call you selfish for saying no, just smile and say, it's self-care, not selfishness. You should try it sometime. Let's clear up a common misconception. Putting yourself first doesn't mean ignoring everyone else. It means giving from a place of abundance, not exhaustion. Think of it like this. When you're on a plane, the flight attendant always says, put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. Nobody argues with that because it makes sense. You can't help anyone if you're gasping for air. But in real life, people expect you to hand them your oxygen mask and say, don't worry about me, I'll just hold my breath. Stop doing that. When you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, you become a stronger version of yourself. And that stronger version can give, help, love, and support others in a much more meaningful way. So no, prioritizing yourself doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a healthy one. If prioritizing yourself were easy, everyone would do it. But there are 3 sneaky enemies that make it difficult: guilt, fear, and comparison. 1, guilt. We feel guilty for taking a break, guilty for saying no, guilty for spending money on ourselves. It's like we were programmed to believe that rest must be earned through suffering. But guilt is just an emotional illusion. It doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It just means you've done something different. Society taught you to overextend yourself. So when you stop, your brain panics. Ignore that panic. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace over chaos. 2, fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of disappointing people. Fear of being judged. But let's be honest. People are going to talk about you whether you succeed or fail. You might as well succeed and give them something interesting to talk about. 3, comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy and the best friend of insecurity. You'll always find someone richer, smarter, or prettier than you, but that's none of your business. Your only competition is the version of you from yesterday. Run your own race, because even if you win someone else's race, you still lose. The most powerful word in the English language isn't love or money, it's no. No is a full sentence. It doesn't need an apology or a paragraph. The first time you say no to someone, you'll feel guilty. The second time, you'll feel nervous. But the third time, you'll feel free. Because every no to others is a yes to yourself. Yes to your rest, your dreams, your focus, your health. Imagine how different your life would look if you said no to things that drain you and yes to things that grow you. And if someone asks, why are you being like this lately? Just smile and say, I finally started listening to myself. Growth is funny because it's so uncomfortable. You start out excited, then confused, then scared, then lonely, and finally, proud. You'll outgrow people, habits, and even parts of yourself. You'll stop chasing validation from people who can't even validate their parking tickets. And at some point, you'll look back at your old self and think, wow, I was really out here trying to please people who didn't even like themselves. That's progress. Growth will test your patience, your boundaries, and your confidence, but it will also introduce you to the most beautiful version of yourself, the one that doesn't need anyone's permission to shine. Let's talk about money. This is where prioritizing yourself becomes painfully real. You work hard, earn your paycheck, and just when you plan to treat yourself to something nice, someone hits you with the classic line, you know I wouldn't ask if it wasn't urgent. Next thing you know, your urgent money turns into their weekend getaway. Here's the truth. Generosity without boundaries becomes exploitation. You're not stingy for protecting your money. You're smart. You're not heartless for saying no to constant borrowers. You're responsible. Start investing in your own goals. Pay yourself first. Save like your future depends on it, because it does. Your peace is priceless. Stop giving unlimited access to people who only bring chaos. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Some people belong in the balcony and some need to be outside the theater altogether. You can forgive someone and still block them. You can love someone and still love yourself more. You can care about someone's struggles without volunteering to carry their emotional baggage. Energy is contagious. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh, think, and dream. The rest, mute, unfollow, and move on. Here's the irony. Once you start prioritizing yourself, people will notice. They'll say, you've changed. And they're right. You have. You've changed from being a doormat to being a door with a lock. You've changed from being available 24/7 to being available when you choose. You've changed from seeking approval to setting standards. And guess what? The same people who complain about your boundaries will secretly respect them, because deep down, everyone wishes they had the courage to do the same. Even psychologists agree self-prioritization improves mental health. Studies show that people who set boundaries and practice self-care have lower stress levels, better relationships, and higher life satisfaction. It's not selfish, it's sustainable. You're a better partner, friend, parent, and professional when you're emotionally full instead of empty. Think of self-priority as preventive maintenance, not indulgence. You don't wait for your car engine to explode before adding oil, right? The same applies to your mind and soul. Nature is full of lessons about prioritizing yourself. The sun doesn't apologize for shining too brightly. The lion doesn't worry if the hyena feels insecure. The tree doesn't shrink its branches because another tree stopped growing. Everything in nature exists in balance, giving and receiving. Even the ocean knows when to pull back its waves. So why are you drowning in everyone else's needs? Be like the sun, warm, radiant, and unapologetic. Shine anyway. At some point, you'll stand in front of a mirror and realize no one's coming to save you. Not your friends, not your boss, not even that motivational quote you saved last week. It's all on you. Your happiness, your growth, your peace, it's your responsibility. And that's both terrifying and empowering. Terrifying because you can't blame anyone anymore. Empowering because you don't have to wait for anyone anymore. Here's another funny truth. People love you until they have to clap for you. When you're struggling, they'll offer sympathy. But when you start succeeding, suddenly their Wi-Fi stops working. They can't like your success posts anymore. Don't take it personally. Jealousy is a silent compliment. It means you're doing something worth noticing. Just don't let their silence stop your momentum. Keep shining. The right people will always celebrate you loudly. Your dreams deserve your full attention, not your leftover energy. You can't build an empire on exhaustion. You can't chase purpose while constantly people-pleasing. So stop shrinking your dreams to fit small minds. Stop explaining your vision to people who've never seen beyond their comfort zone. Work quietly, move strategically, and let results do the talking. Remember, success is the best revenge, but peace is even better. Letting go is both painful and hilarious. You'll cry at first, then laugh at how long you tolerated nonsense. You'll look back at some relationships and think, did I really argue with this person over that? That's growth, realizing not everything deserves a reaction. Peace is priceless. Protect it with humor. Laugh often, forgive fast, and never ever lose your sense of humor. It's the cheapest therapy on earth. Nobody really wants you to be above them. That's okay. You're not living to be above anyone. You're living to be the best version of you. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't slow down to make others feel fast. Don't hide your greatness to protect someone's ego. The world needs your full brightness, not your filtered version. So yes, prioritize yourself first. Sleep well, eat better, chase dreams, set boundaries, laugh loudly, and remember, you don't owe anyone an apology for choosing yourself. Because when you're happy, healthy, and fulfilled, that's when you can truly make the world better. Not from a place of exhaustion, but from abundance. And if anyone still calls you selfish, smile and tell them, I'm not selfish, I'm self-aware. Prioritizing yourself isn't arrogance, it's alignment. It's choosing peace over pressure, purpose over people-pleasing, and growth over guilt. It's realizing that life is too short to live it for everyone else. So go ahead, buy that book, take that break, chase that dream, love yourself louder, laugh harder, and never apologize for shining. Because if you don't prioritize yourself, you'll end up spending your life watching everyone else live theirs while yours slips quietly into the background. So today, make a promise to yourself. I choose me. Not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. And that, my friend, is the start of everything beautiful.